everyone, to the Circle of the Main Podcast, episode 79. This is the host, Steve, is what I see here with my brothers from another mother's, my fellow four horsemen, but we're missing one. Of course, he's grieving the loss of, the god of professional wrestling. That's why he's not here today. He's over there grieving the loss because he got his ass for Saturday, excuse me. But yes, my fellow horsemen here, my fellow family members. So of course, I have the one and only. He directs you where to go, where to be, and where to
there we go.
stay. There you go. That's why he is the one and only the director, CK1. Chris Kelly.
NXT is dead to me.
Rest in peace, black and gold. That's it. And of course, I have this individual who not only just lived 1,977,000 miles from Winnipeg, Minnesota, Canada. Not only he is the most valuable podcaster and the most violent podcaster, because he is the undisputed, the unmatched, the unrivaled, the undefeated, and the uncensored money. By God, a podcasting Mike.
And releases again. If you haven't seen Drake Maverick's video, I highly recommend.
Did he release another one? Is there another
yes,
one?
He did.
Because I think the last one was kayfabe. I think the last one.
If that one's kayfabe, man, this one knocks it out of the park.
Because the last one, it was a crying video, and then in NXT they were like, "Well, we saw your video. If you want to keep your job, you can be in like some tournament." And he won the tournament. So I was like, would they do that if that wasn't part of the storyline, or were they really that nice to him? I don't know. I don't know anymore.
That's a good question. Right, we don't even know anymore. But we'll get into that in a bit. Let's get into, gentlemen, AEW Full Gear pay-per-view this past weekend. What an epic event. We saw a surprising debut as well. Man, fantastic overall. And let me give you the results for Full Gear. The pay-per-view buys was 145,000. Second best pay-per-view for AEW overall in the last 3 years that they have done pay-per-views. And in revenue, 45% they keep, and the rest of it to their, to distributors and the sponsors. They made about $3 million in just that one night. So congratulations to Tony Khan and for a phenomenal job. Fantastic. I think this was incredible, man. I'm speechless, man. I can tell you that I was from this to to crying, yes, man, yes. This was like a WrestleMania 30 moment for me. The yes movement kind of reminded me of with Adam Hangman. But I'll take it to you, director. Talk to the people. Give the people what they want, 30 heels. Give them what they want. And your thoughts overall for Full Gear.
I mean, what do they want? What they want, it sounds like what I want. You said it was the highest rated and revenue intake pay-per-view in AEW history?
In pay-per-view buys and the revenue that they took.
Okay, cool. That's a lot of proof in the pudding that counters what I'm going to say is that AEW pay-per-views are so good, and I'm a bit of a bootlicker on the Tony Khan brand right now, but they're so good that I wouldn't even place that in the top 5 pay-per-views. That's how good their general product is and how great Full Gear was, and it still isn't in the top 5 favorites for me. And that's not saying it was a bad pay-per-view. That's just telling you how, let's say they've had 30 other pay-per-views. Mm-hmm. This is just like in the top 25, maybe the bottom 25, it was a short pay-per-view too. Not a lot going on. Like, you didn't get lost in the how much was going on. There was definitely a cooler match, which is a word we used to use when they would use like a women's boring match or a match people weren't interested in before the main event to get people to go get their beer, take their pee, and then they can come back refreshed. I do kind of think that was the Britt Baker match, unfortunately, and that's not her fault. I think that there was just so much action going on leading up to that people were a little tuckered out, and just they knew that the Adam Page Kenny Omega match was after that. So I think a lot of people in the crowd were a little quiet, kind of reminiscent of a old Japanese wrestling crowd where they're just dead silent.
Yes, like
yeah. Oh man, I love how Pride would do that. It would be quiet, and then someone gets head kicked, and it's like, and then it's like quiet again.
Yes.
But those are my general thoughts. If you want to break down the card match by match, or kind of give it some highlights here and there, we can definitely do that.
Well, let's get into that. How about we get into which was the best match for you? Throughout the night. Which one stole the show? Which one actually stole the show?
Stole the show. Let me run down the list here. Because I mean, obviously, the Kenny Omega Hangman Page had the best psychology of the night. I really dug the Eddie Kingston CM Punk match for a lot of different reasons. The psychology of that match took some turns. They were both, I believe, being cheered. There was a CM Punk Kingston or Eddie Kingston. It was back and forth, and then Eddie obviously started them before the match even started. Clocked him, I think, with like brass knucks and almost knocked CM Punk out. And that actually got more cheers for Eddie Kingston. I don't know if people noticed, but people were like into that. But what I love about this match is it shows that CM is still willing to get his hands dirty. He's not just here to fluff his record or to come back and look like the best in the world by taking easy matches. This was a short fight. Felt like it was only like 7 minutes, but it was to the point. It was grimy. It was violent. It was an Eddie Kingston classic. CM got the win. That may be the right decision, but I want Eddie to start winning. If you look at Eddie's AEW record, I'm sure he's either 50-50 or on the losing end, in my opinion. And that's something that's continues on into the Dynamite episode we'll talk about when we get to it. But the main event, as good a match as you're going to get out of those two, I think, on a pay-per-view in America. Very Japanese, strong style from American wrestlers. The thing that Kenny Omega is great at. Mm-hmm. And I hate to be redundant about this. If you guys don't know, not you, but the fans out there don't know the inside behind Kenny Omega's life, everything is a video game fame. He comes out dressed like wrestling characters. His finisher is the One Wing Angel. That's Sephiroth's theme song and his code name from Final Fantasy VII. Throughout AEW, even maybe before, back in the Bullet Club days, Kenny Omega has kind of always been the Sephiroth of wrestling. He is completely undefeatable. He is hard to beat. He is very hard to kill. And then Hangman Page is kind of fallen into the Cloud Strife role, the up-and-coming underdog hero that everybody wants to see take down Sephiroth. And he finally did it. He's 1 out of 3 for sure. But some cool things that happened is now you can add less than 4 people, I believe, have kicked out of the One Wing Angel. And Kenny Omega is now one of them.
Yeah, right.
I think it's been Okada, Jericho, and now Kenny Omega. I think, Matt's not here. He can correct me on that. There might be one more. But yeah, I was screaming full blast at the TV as soon as I saw Kenny put him up Hangman put him up in the electric chair. I thought Kenny was going to get out of it and maybe like hit a V trigger on the way down. Yeah, he hit it clean. Yeah, and I was like, holy shit, that's the first time I've ever seen anyone hit One Wing Angel that wasn't Kenny, and to do it on Kenny was wild. And then I love the dual buckshot lariats. Hit him from the front, hit him from the back. Obviously, the Elite, specifically the Young Bucks, were on both sides of the ring. When he hit both of those buckshots, Matt and Nick both just looked up at him like, you got to put Old Yeller down, man. Like, you have to do it. Like, there's a reason we're out here not interfering in this match. And then again, we'll get to what happened in the Dynamite promo next, the week after, which it's all connected. So, good pay-per-view. I loved it. It was fun. I was full-blown screaming. Like, you've heard me scream in person. It's loud. So yeah, I'm glad it was noon. I'm glad I watched it like the day after. Yeah, those are my thoughts in a nutshell right there, man. So thank you.
Oh man, good analogy. Yeah, see what happens in circle debate. You learn here. As he's giving you the knowledge. Now, I wish Matt was here. You're right, but I don't. I think Kenny is the second person because I think there's only been one person that's done it. Okada's only one.
Jericho didn't kick out of it at that match when they met as a Rainmaker?
No.
Or Painmaker?
He never
All right. I believe you. I just, for some reason, have a Mandela effect remembering Jericho kicking out of it. Mm-hmm. But obviously, I'm open to being wrong because I could be proven wrong.
But yes, if Matt was here, he'll be here next week. Hopefully, he'll give us his thoughts. We'll ask him there for sure. If you guys know, comment below. Let us know. Let us know if you feel that it is.
Kota Ibushi kicks out of it.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, so I knew it was more than 2, but less than like 5.
So sure. It was okay, all right.
So I don't know if Jericho is on the list, but I found an article where it's Kota Ibushi. And I got some lists. So keep talking. I'll look it up.
All right. So yes, Money Mike.
Whew, man, this pay-per-view was fire. Time flies, man. Time flies when you're having fun. And I feel that one of the reasons why this felt short is because it was that much fun to watch. I particularly enjoyed the Britt Baker match. I honestly got the vibe that they were gonna go with Ty Conti in this one, and even
Wow.
the enthusiasm that Tay Conti was coming out to the ring with kind of gave me vibes of, you know what, maybe she's gonna take it. And and if you've seen, which I'm sure you have, past Circle of Debate episodes, I have said that I didn't think that it was gonna happen, that Thunder Rosa is waiting, and that's the money fight. I've said that. But
Between Tay and Thunder, is that what you're saying?
no, between Baker and Thunder Rosa.
Okay, so like a rematch.
Yeah, I've always felt that it's Rock Austin.
Well, we don't say that name on DMD TV.
There you go.
I watched Dynamite.
And let me say that we watched All Out with Chris, and I have to admit that watching pay-per-views with Chris is pretty fun. This guy gets into it, man. This guy, when I believe it was when Danielson came out or Adam Cole.
It was the entire sequence of events.
Oh,
it was that whole main card, man.
Yeah.
I almost knocked over everybody's beer camera and the tent we were inside.
With his shirt off.
I ripped my shirt off. I ran into the road suit. I look like oh man, it's an obscure reference, but Mark Coleman won a tournament in Pride, and he was trying to celebrate, and he was running all over the ropes, tripping all over everything, and he couldn't get his bearing straight. Yeah, that was me for sure.
There you go. So definitely, if Chris has you over, you know it's going to be a good night there.
Yes,
only if it's AEW pay-per-views. I don't know about WWE though. But we'll get to that.
I mean, it's possible. It is possible. It does happen. There's videos. I mean, there's been moments like when the Hardys returned, when the Dudleys returned.
That's true.
In recent history, when Edge returned. Yeah,
cool moments. Royal Rumble and stuff. All right. But let's see. The card itself, Kingston and CM Punk, man. I do think it was like around 7 minutes. And it reminded me of 7 minutes of In Heaven, because that's just what it felt like. It was so good. Just the story, you hear all that all the time. You know, wrestlers are telling stories inside the ring. And it was a story here. CM Punk had no problem whatsoever playing to being a heel, even if it was for one night. And honestly, man, I wish this story would have continued past Full Gear. I wish that it would have kept going and maybe even kept the CM Punk heel turn going. But, you know, it is what it is, and I know we're going to get it down the line again. These two, their paths are going to cross again. I'm sure of it, and I'm looking forward to it. And in a way, that's something I'm looking forward to in AEW. And I'm glad, honestly, after thinking about it, I'm glad they're kind of doing it that way, because we know what to expect out of those two. And they have history now. Let's see. MJF and Darby Allin. I was meh about the finish. The match itself was cool. I enjoyed it. I was all in for it. I didn't like the finish. I honestly felt that Darby should have won. But, you know, especially for losing against CM Punk at All Out. I would have wanted him to get the win here. But, I mean, you know, it wasn't terrible at all by any means. But, you know, I guess it's just personal preference as to who would have won.
I think with that, the character roles, like the aura of the characters are more resilient in that result, where the underdog Darby lost, so he stays the underdog. If he starts winning, he's no longer the underdog. And then MJF, obviously, if he keeps losing, he can't run that mouth anymore. So his check has to cash every time he talks. And I kind of think that that's where they're going with that, where Darby's going to not get buried in the, you know, main roster sense of the word with more losses, where you hurt a heel more by getting them to lose, then they can't really talk that shit. That's kind of why I think that's a safer bet to go.
Yeah, I could see that now that you mention it. I agree with that. That's why it's not circle of debate. No, we agree here.
The triangle of debate.
Yeah, yes, there. Okay, there you go. Like that. So yeah, in the main event, man, what an ending! My goodness, the Bucks coming out, giving their nod of approval to Hangman. You know what? We weren't there when you faced Jericho for the title, but we're here now. Regardless of everything that has happened, we're here. We know you're gonna win, and go for it. And that's what it was. That's what it was. And what a moment. And that's what it is right there. Moments. That's what as wrestling fans, we live for those moments, and that they gave us exactly that.
They did all right. From the cheers to the boos to the to the cry, like yes. But I could say 11 minutes was at CM Punk in Kingston. It's
okay. Is that counting with the music, the first music hit to the end?
Overall 11 minutes.
Okay, yeah. So the match itself could have been 7, but the whole from the beginning of the yeah.
11 minutes. That's great. That's great. So that's your match of the night for Full Gear, Mike. So Kingston and Punk.
You know what? Yeah, I'll go with it. Yeah.
All right. So that's 2 that I have. Very briefly, man, I enjoyed it from top to bottom. Very valid point, director, on the MGF one. Absolutely on point on that. The one thing I would add to it is that I said it last week with Mike. He's going through every pillar, and he's beating them one by one. He just already got Jungle Boy out of the way. Now he bought Darby. The next one's going to be Sammy Guevara for that TNT. He's going to win that TNT title. He's going to make that title relevant. That title's going to be at the level at the AEW World title. And
it's
then after
be,
that.
When Mr. Perfect had the Intercontinental title, man, that's the first time. I don't want to say the first time that title had prestige, but that was a huge moment for that belt, for sure.
Absolutely. And that's what we see the end. This was a great storytelling too. I didn't like the ending. I was disappointed of the ending of it. I wish it could have been better, but this is how heelish he is. He did say he was going to beat him with the headlock takedown, and he did do it. He fucking did it. He did what he had to do. But he has his heelish way. And of course, remind you, no rematches here. This is not going to be a rematch. So no, I'm glad we'll get into title mine. Yeah, 1 and done is cool. I'm happy for it. Everything else, honestly, the women's match was spectacular. I enjoyed it. Why I say that? Because they protected Tay Conti. She didn't lose by submission. She lost by a pinfall. Because remind you, she's a jiu-jitsu,
right, judoka,
right? But I don't know what belt, brown belt or
all of them,
pretty much.
Yeah, she's high level.
Yeah, they protected her. You see how she didn't submit, she didn't even passed out, none of that. She escaped from it. I loved it. I think the one that you said it was a piss break. I hate to say it, but it's the Cody Pac Andrade.
I feel you. I think that the crowd was louder for that though, but I'd have to go back and watch it
because of Cody.
Yes, because of Cody.
You mean the blonde Roman Reigns? Fucking Christ! He's literally becoming you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain, and that's Cody, man. He's pulling to know Triple H, and he doesn't even know it, or he does know it, and that was his plan. I don't get it.
Yeah, right. I mean, that could be the plan. That could be the plan for him to turn heel. That botch that Andrade did, he almost fell off when he was, and Cody going, "This close, buddy. You were this close to fucking." Like Andrade's like, "Yeah, I know." He got saved, so he got lucky on that one. It's that if you could tell that match, they switched it in the ring. The finish that was way. I didn't expect that finish because I expected different. But how the hell did it could be okay? Pac. Okay, he did the arrow, and that's it. I mean, what's up with that? That's it. I mean, you should have been something different, but no. I think they switched it. I think because the crowd was getting hot, and I think Cody was supposed to get the pin. But I think that's why they gave it a pop. That's what I think that already happened. Everything else, the Miro Brian Danielson, man, the kicks look technical. I didn't like that finish either, though. I don't know if you guys did. I didn't like it. I wish it could have been better.
Like a protected, like he got KO'd kind of. So
yeah,
Braniel Danielson did win. Miro kind of didn't get pinfalled or submitted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the throws out there to both of you guys. let's give a round of applause to Junior Dos Santos. He did a fucking great job, man.
Yeah.
Fuck, I love it, man. He did a great job, man. Arlovsky was there for the check. I'm sorry, he was just there. But come on, guys. Junior Dos Santos sold like a motherfucker, man. That barely took it. The hit by Jake Hager. Oh my god, a superplex. But the botch when Jericho was trying to do, the moonsault that
It wasn't a Cameron finish,
Yeah.
which thank God. I wasn't surprised he was able to hit that moonsault because in his UFC career, he's pulled off some pretty crazy things for a heavyweight, like the spin wheel kick when he beat Mark Hunt. So he's a big, agile boy for sure. So I wasn't like, oh my God, like Keith Lee. The shit Keith Lee does blows me away. But still, he could. The cover was right there, and that could have been the 3. So.
Hey man, you got to give it a Junior, man. He did a great job. I think
he was having fun. He could tell he was having a blast.
Man, I think he fits well to if he transitions like how Kane did. Going through training.
I really hope that he does better than Kane.
You know what? I think this is going to be a tough one, man, because Kane has more lucha libre type of style. Because he trained with AAA.
I know he's trained literally. He's trained literally under Rey Mysterio, but I mean, Kane never. He had like a moonsault off the top, but they told him to wrestle MMA at least at the Crown Royale or whatever it was. So.
Oh yeah. Crown Jewel. Yeah, I know.
Whatever. Whatever.
Crown
blood money.
I mean, yeah, go for it, Mike. We're gonna say.
As far as that, I think that the leash is off. The WWE leash is off, and I'm sure, or I would like to think that he at this moment is training to get back in the squared circle, and hopefully that he's able to lean into that lucha style even more. We saw a snippet of it in AAA, and if he with proper training and time, I'm sure he could. Man, the things he could do, I'm pretty sure are going to be pretty cool. JDS, he absolutely looked like he was having fun in there, and he looks like a tough guy, right? But you could just see that the niceness, and I guess because of watching him in Ultimate Fighter and his interviews, the MMA fans that have come to know him over the years know that he's not necessarily like a bad guy or anything like that. So I'm sure he's gonna have a manager. I don't know if it's gonna be Dan Lambert.
It has to be. It has to be Dan Lambert,
right? So he's gonna need somebody to talk to him because I get the feeling that he's gonna be talking and smiling at the same time. So
yes,
I think he's not going to be a very good heel on the mic. So if he just makes mean face and Dan Lambert talks for him, that's how you have to run it, basically, like Brock and Paul.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll put him on Mark Sterling. Fuck it. Put him on Mark Sterling. Jay Cargill and Junior Dos Santos. Why not? That I'm with it. I'll give it shit. I like that.
Okay. I'm down with that.
Right? I love that shit. Of course, we didn't talk about the Lucha Bros FTR. Great match. I like the FTRs getting used to the transitioning of Lucha style because they're not really used to it. Like I said, I mentioned last week to Mike, I can't wait to when the whole thing is over in Mexico, they go over there and wrestle Lucha Libre stars. I want to see how they're gonna take their psychology here and take it over there. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Even the opening for the pre-show was great too, with Thunder and Hikaru versus Nyla and Jimmy Hayter. That was great. Adam Hangman, of course. That one, I cried. I can't lie. I watched it the next day too on Sunday because it's not work Saturday, but I had to watch it the next day. And even the missus was like, "Why are you crying?" Adam Hangman.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
It's still real to me.
It's still real to me. Man, but spectacular, man. Let's get into the aftermath, gentlemen. The Dynamite, the celebration of Adam Hangman Page. Cowboy shit day, of course. Cowboy shit. Yes, and then, of course, he did not deserve it. He effing earned it. And I love how the crowd switched very, very quick. I like that. that's one thing I love how AEW is doing it. Fuck that WWE shit. I want to do it our way. You earn it. You earn it. You earn it. And everybody was going crazy. This is where I'm loving this. And I'm going to say it right now. I want to get it off my chest. Bryan Danielson coming out, heelish style. Phenomenal what he did. But like I say, Adam needs to beat Bryan Danielson to prove a point for AEW because he's the pinnacle of AEW. He is now the face of AEW. And if he beats Bryan Danielson, it proves a point.
I got to take a phone call real quick. You can pause for me or I'll be right back.
Go for it.
I'll just leave.
Just come back. But yes, oh my God, just that, that promo that Bryan just did, it was whoa, and it got the crowd hot, and that's what we want to see. And I think you could tell. I mean, come on, Mike. We have been fans for so long. We know how how it works. This is your typical face going heelish. Like I'll give you an example. Cena and Bryan SummerSlam, when Cena with how the promo started, how Cena was getting booed and putting Bryan down. Some of the similarities that what Bryan would do to Hangman. He's trying to put him down. Oh yeah, he's a champion. Of course, I defended the belt the next day at WrestleMania. What about you? Oh, you're not ready. You're on your cowboy shit. I came here to wrestle. Oh my God, he just went off. I enjoyed it, man. But yes, Adam Hangman Page needs to beat Bryan Danielson to end that. So I'll take any good money, Mike. Thoughts about that opening?
There is no doubt about that. He needs to win. And clean, maybe we'll see. But yeah, he needs that W because Bryan Danielson is coming over here as, and we know, we as wrestling experts, we know that
professional fans. That's what I say.
There you go. We know that he's not necessarily a WWE guy from the get-go. At the core, he's a professional wrestler, right? But a lot of people have come to know him through his WWE days, so therefore they think of him as a WWE guy. Therefore, Hangman as an AEW guy needs to win to be able to say, you know what, I defended it as against a true world champion from WWE. It's an equal, standing, this world title, to anything that anybody over there has. I feel like it will elevate not only Hangman but the title itself. So it's important for him to get that win. And man, what a heel turn. I honestly didn't think he would. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that in the storyline, but I'm so glad that it is happening. And I saw a post online of a professional fan somewhere out there that he looked at the itinerary for Dynamite and for AEW, and he's noticing that the next few weeks of Dynamite are in hometowns of members of the Dark Order. Chicago for Colt Cabana. Then they're going to Fives, Alan Angel's hometown. Then to John Silver's hometown after that.
Isn't Player One, isn't he Canadian?
Eva Uno.
Yeah, sorry, same person. Same guy. I thought he was Canadian, but I don't know if last night was Hangman's hometown, right? Not necessarily Evil Uno's hometown. Okay.
So that crazy fan doing a lot of research, discovered or kind of has put together that that's the road that they're going to take. Danielson, as he said in his promo, is going to be taking out members of the Dark Order along the way. And in true heel fashion, I'm pretty sure he's going to do that. And it's going to be such a build up to whenever Hangman and Danielson is going to happen.
Director.
Yeah. It did come out of nowhere, absolutely. But as soon as the words left his mouth, I was like, because one of my favorite heels in recent history is the Planet Champion. That's my favorite version of Daniel Bryan. It was too short of a character. It only lasted like 4 months. He got the title and then something happened and then he immediately went back to like teaming with like Edge or some shit. I don't know. And they became a face like pretty quickly. I love Bryan Danielson as a heel. One of you mentioned that he's not necessarily known as a WWE guy. I mean, obviously he is because he spent more of his career there and he's huge and millions of people know him from that. But his blood and guts are the American Dragon. So this is who he gets to be once again. The leash is off. I loved the Forbidden Door is obviously shattered, but there's not very many references as blatant as the I won the title at WrestleMania and wrestled the very next day. To say that on TV and then to get boos out of that was fantastic. I loved that. Yeah, I like Daniel, but Bryan Danielson is a
fickle. Bryan Danielson,
fickle. Yeah, Daniel Danielson as a heel. I live for it. The thing with the Dark Order, I still am confused about Hangman's Page's role in that. Because it's still just like, will he, won't he? It's kind of like, is he in it? Is he hanging out? Is he good friends? Is he the leader? He's never done this. He's never worn black. It's just a weird, it's a weird thing. Or purple, yeah, exactly. It's just a weird little thing, I guess they did. But I like what that fan had found out. And yeah, there was a line that Branielson had said, I forget the line specifically, but it was, essentially going to everybody's hometown and taking them out one by one. And then obviously he's definitely going to lose to Hangman Page because that's just the way it's going to be. It's going to build Hangman Page up without ruining Danielson. How do you go like 12 years with calling him something and then he goes back to his real name, which is a much crazier name than the other one.
I know, right?
It's so weird. Like, it's like, I can't do it, man. Like, just let me try. But yeah, Paige is going to win that for sure. But it's going to be a fun ride all the way through. It's American Dragon World Tour for sure.
Oh man, yeah, absolutely. You guys are both on point on that. I cannot wait either for that. And then just the way how you destroyed Uno. I love the fact that I'm giving right now kudos to Ivo Uno when he was really not known. I can tell you myself, I wasn't really too familiar with him either. I heard of the Super Smash Brothers of the team, but I was never like into this work until I'm glad that the fans are loving him. I love his vlog too. So shout out to Ivo Uno for putting a great match with Bryan too.
Yeah, he's a legit wrestler who just doesn't get ring time. That's all it is,
just more on dark and elevation. But I mean, the guy is great, man. Phenomenal worker. That's why him and Stu, it's a great mesh between both of them. So. Definitely. Oh, there goes the security guard right there. That's right.
Yes, my security guard is right here. Yeah.
All right, and then we get the debut. That's why I don't know why Matt's not here for this one. Of course, from Chaos, Tomohiro Ishii has arrived to AEW, teaming up with Orange Cassidy, defeating the Butcher and the Blade. Congrats to Tomohiro Ishii to winning the never openweight title from Jay White. That happened this past weekend as well on New Japan and here in Riverside, California. That was unexpected too, and kudos to him. Finally, he gets a singles belt. I haven't seen Tomohiro have a single belt in quite some time, but that's him. So I mean, great to see him. I think the fans were not too much familiar with him. I mean, some are, some are not. But your thoughts of Tomohiro debuting on Dynamite, director? I'll take it to you.
Yes, I love this. Forbidden Door again. And people in America, I politely am impressed with their knowledge of the international superstars coming over. There's fan signs. I think there was like an OMG Tommy in their crowd. People they're cheering him like they knew who he was. This new team, it's basically best friends, but it's called Chaos. With him and Orange Cassidy and Rocky Marino. What's his name?
Rocky Romero.
Ricky Martin.
Rocky Romero.
Ricky Martin? Rocky Romero. I may have missed something while I was on tour about what happened to actual best friends with Chuck Taylor and the other guy with the mom. Trent Seven. Trent, yeah. Like, did they break up? Are they injured?
No, he's injured. He's out for quite some time.
Who? Which one?
Trent.
Again? The shoulder?
No, not shoulder this time. Neck.
Fuck, that's even worse. God damn it.
Yeah.
So this is basically Best Friends 2.0 with international flair, and I it's weird, but it's not bad. I don't know if he's going to be in America long term or just some cameo appearances. It was a good match. Holy shit! This is a match that you would see in Japan when the Americans came over and were the guests in the Japan's territory. It was just happened to be on AEW, which I love. It had very, very good vibes, very international, strong style feel. The sequence between the Butcher and, I'm sorry, say his name one more time.
The Blade.
No. I keep wanting to say Tomo. Is it Tomo?
Tomohiro Ishii.
Yeah, that's right. Tomohiro. That was a sick sequence. That was a pay-per-view level sequence where he no-sold the chops in the elbows, and then he came out and just busted ass. I love that. That was very pay-per-view. Yeah, solid match. That's it. It was fun. It was fun. It doesn't push anybody anywhere because it was a triple versus triple, thing. Bring the thrash titles. Come on, man. What are you waiting for?
There you go.
Right there. Three, right there.
See.
Let's just do it.
See.
I don't know what they're waiting for. I don't know why they don't want to do it other than Lucha Underground has already done it. But there is plenty of, all elite factions to handle that belt for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they should now. I mean, Ring of Honor is done. They have their 6-man, but they're already done with. So, I mean, might as well. They should start doing it, So the only one who has it is New Japan. That's it.
It would make these little faction battles make more sense long term.
Yes.
Because this wasn't like a rivalry that's been stemming or anything. This is just we have 3 good guys, we have 3 bad guys. Let's kill some airtime.
Yeah, definitely. Money Mike.
Yeah, I am kind of surprised with the choice of Orange Cassidy to join Chaos, right? And I wonder why that is. I maybe Matt's prediction of Tetsuya Naito coming over, or maybe that could open that sort of door, forbidden door. We don't know, but the name Okada has been dropped numerous times now, and I mean, I've heard that name a lot of times. Never seen any of his matches. I've heard that name a lot, and especially now. So me, as an outside fan, looking in this sort of thing, I'm all in. I want to see it. I want to see this guy show up. The famous Okada, right? The John Cena of New Japan.
Yes,
so,
he is.
Wouldn't that be fun, right? So I want to see what goes on there, and I'm along for the ride. And as we say here in Circle of Debate, my
heart is open.
My heart is open.
El corazón de los abierto.
There you go.
Something like that. I think I got that backwards, but close enough.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. Hell yeah. The heart is open for Money Mike, ladies and gentlemen. He's opening his heart. And I'm glad he is, because we're seeing a lot of New Japan talent doing their round tour here in the States. And by the looks of it, we might be seeing some AEW stars going to Japan for Wrestle Kingdom. There's room in the windows out
for
there.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, we saw Kenta already challenge CM Punk. We might see CM Punk over there. You never know. Go GTS with his GTS. Oh man,
that has to do. My mouth is watering right now for that call.
Yes, it needs to happen.
If you guys want to get up at 2 a.m. and watch 9 hours of wrestling, let's do it.
I'm down. I'll fucking do it.
Watch along
at 2 a.m. Why not?
Yeah, that's it, because it's on Japanese time, so it's brutal. I've watched some Singapore UFC fights where I had to get up at like 2:34 a.m. and I'm glad to do it.
Awesome, man. Hell yeah, that's awesome. And now let's move on to this was unexpected. Nyla Rose advancing in the TBS tournament, defeating Shida, but thanks to the interference of Serena Deeb. So it looks like this is going to be an actual feud. This is going to be like a best out of 3, best out of 7, but I can tell you right now, I like it, to be honest. I love it. I want, Serena and Shida, because the last match they had was, I loved it. Great match. They gonna, continue that feud. I don't mind it. That's your Bret Hart Austin female version right there. That's a fact for sure. And I love it because we want Shida to come out more ruthless aggression, damn it. We want that more out of her. I feel like I said, for her not having an opportunity to be a champion in front of a crowd, only just to lose it to Britt Baker in front of a crowd, but throughout the pandemic, defending it, I feel, it's hard. It's heartbreaking for her. But I think this feud with Serena will put her to the top with the crowd, and I hope it delivers to the crowd itself of Shida's performance and her character. Hopefully, it changes and develops better charisma. That's what I'm expecting. But yes, Nyla advances. Were you shocked of the advance, buddy Mike?
Yes, I was actually. I did think that Shida was gonna win, and honestly, I kind of thought that she was gonna be too injured, and what's the other Serena? That Serena was gonna take her place instead. I kind of thought that was going to happen, but it didn't, obviously. But I'm okay with Nyla Rose going on. I don't think she'll win the next round, but to move forward that rivalry that has no title attached to it is a great thing. Storyline involving the women, rivalries coming out, it's great. It's great. And it makes the division that much deeper and more important. So, and hopefully it'll make for more women's matches during Dynamite. There's only one a week. Maybe there should be a little bit more,
Absolutely. We, the director and I talked about it last week. It should be
consistent,
averaging it out, 2 women's, a couple of men's, for per week. We talked about
we didn't cover this, but last week we had mentioned that they fall into the same main roster thing where they do showcase the entire women's roster, but in one match, and they did that at Full Gear. And again, another point of concern is that they're just doing that to just, hey, you got to see 9 women. They were all in the same match, but you got to see them instead of 8 individual stories or whatever going on. So it's a little cause for concern if anyone's ever wondering why the women's division is weak.
Yeah,
I think it's not that weak, but that's an area of concern for sure.
Absolutely. Take it away, director, about that. Do you expect the Nyla Rose to advance?
Cool. So check this out. It is 8:55, November 18th, 2021, and Straight Edge Society is running shit on primetime TV. We got Serena Deeb and CM Punk on the same show doing the damn thing. It's wild to think that. Now we just need Gallows to come back and it's complete. I don't know if I cared who was going to advance, not in the negative way, but because they're both former women's champions. I think Shida was she was like the third. It was the other late job.
Rio.
I was gonna say Rin Nakai, who's a Japanese MMA fighter.
I know.
Rio. But obviously she beat Nyla Rose for that belt, and I think eventually lost it back to her or something like that. It was a while ago. I kind of thought Nyla was on a very slow climb to being a face. And obviously this interference didn't appear to be something she either knew about or took much glory in happening. She just took advantage of an opportunity based on the win. I'm not depressed or upset that either one of them lost. They're both fantastic in the ring and the future of the sport. But the story of this is Serena Deeb for sure. She's a bad bitch right now, and she's running, essentially 2 companies over at NWA and over in AEW. And she can't really, with her being basically like another Britt Baker in the heel spot, can't like move to going after that belt anytime soon. So I'm eager to see where this is going to go. Obviously, I think she's going to be in the finals of whatever tournament this is. And then the winner gets a new belt. Is it going to be the TBS belt?
TBS.
Yeah,
for Nyla. Yeah, for Nyla.
It's definitely going to be Deeb. That's easy right there. You can put money down on that one for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, Deeb's out of the tournament, but for her to win it, I'm saying.
No, I mean, eventually, like she's going to get the belt. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I agree. And I like it though, because I think, man, she reminds me of Bret Hart, but the heel version. because she is like the woman of 1,000 holds. Like,
Oh, like the mid '97 Bret Hart.
yes, like the
Yeah.
mid '97, and that's what I kind of referenced that between them two. This is when Austin.
She's wearing the
97
leather jacket, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I'm telling you. Like, I mean, she has that preference. That's what I'm like, man. I like this. I like to see that from her. And then Sheeta is like, I want her to be that Austin '97 transitioning to get rid of that, to develop and her character and switch it around and just be more charismatic and just fucking just go balls off
And drink some beer.
And then Nyla is just Undertaker, kind of just there. We'll choke slam someone if they need it, and then kind of have the title once every 10 years. Because to be fair, Taker didn't have that belt a whole lot. I think he had it less than 3 times. So
I think it was 4. I think
it was not very many.
No, you're right. No, I know, but it took so long within those years.
Yeah, it was like once every 6 to 10 years. He did not have long title reigns, and he was not known for holding that belt.
Yes, definitely. All right, and then let's just. I want to get into this one, man. A lot of chapters closes, new ones begins. Now we have one new one right here. I didn't expect it. I thought that we're gonna wait on it, but what a right time to do it, right? MJF.
Yes, I knew it.
CM Punk. We finally got what we wanted. Give me what I want, them, and they're giving it to us already. And man, I swear, I thought this was gonna, be later on in the future, but now already.
Oh man, that
man,
iron is hot, and they are striking.
Absolutely. Sure. Take it away, director. Your thoughts? Are you excited?
Oh yeah. I had reservations about Punk's performances in the ring because he never, to me, was. I think I had a phrase when I heard he was coming back that Anthony from Titantron was a fan of, and I said CM Punk. Or I didn't say CM Punk specifically. I said somebody whose merchandise is better than what they sell themselves as a reference to. I forget the line. It was so clever, but it was a reference to his T-shirt that said "Best in the World," and I never thought CM Punk ever really was. For many reasons in the ring.
Man.
I just never thought that he was like someone who I watched and I was like, wow, that's the best. Like, RVD, you see RVD wrestle once, you're like, that's best in the world style shit. Kenny Omega, same thing. But this version of CM Punk, I love. He's having fun and not taking shit. And he knows who he is. He's very self-referential. He knows he's CM Punk. He always has. And for him to come out, just laugh in MJF's face, and then just walk right out without saying a word. And then literally 2 minutes later, I don't know who leaked the photo, but it's baby MJF at a fan signing with CM Punk signing up. And you're like, bro, that is a fantastic story in itself right there. So when CM gets on the mic, it's probably going to force Wardlow to do something about it. And I think CM's going to have to go through the big boy to get to MJF.
Oh, man. Money Mike.
Flanders mode activated. I'll tell you that. Oh, man. Good times, man. I've said it before, man, and I'll say it again. AEW is doing the Lord's work here. They're giving us what we want. They're giving the iron is so hot right now. And honestly, I feel like this is part of the reason why no rematches is a good thing. We're getting this now. Here it is, right in front of our eyes. And yes, Kingston and Punk could have continued. When the match ended, I thought to myself, well, I would like for this to continue. But it didn't. It can continue later on. It's still there. But we're getting this now. And this is so awesome because, yeah, they could have gone back and forth just like they did with Kingston. But they didn't. Punk just laughed at him, left. We know Punk is great on the mic. It was great. It was just what it should have been. And I'm all for it. And you'll hear me say that often about AEW right now. I'm all in with what they're doing. And yes, of course, pun fully intended.
I'm gonna double down. I'm gonna double down on that because it's all or nothing.
There you go. Double or nothing.
Whatever. Whatever gambling pun exists, they're gonna name a pay-per-view after it.
Isn't that bubblegum commercial? Double or not? Double the fun. Double.
Yeah.
Double J.
I'm gonna try to think. Hey, leave a comment below. How many gambling puns can you name an AEW pay-per-view? Leave them down below, and most likes on a comment wins.
That's right. And for all of our social media listeners as well, I mean,
Full House.
audio listener.
Joker's Wild.
Man, there you go. For all of our audio platform listeners, subscribe to our channel and leave your comment to the director. Give him those phrases, give him those words. I wish I had that button. Give me what I want, Batista voice. I'm gonna add it next time. I'm gonna do that. I just want to have it, just to have it there. But man, here's the biggest question though. Will MJF be the first one to give him the first loss? That's the biggest question.
Oof, that is a tough one, man.
I don't think so. I think CM's gonna. Oh fuck, man! Now as I say that, I'm like, God damn it, they could do it. They could do it. They could troll us with a win, but it doesn't hurt CM to lose.
Doesn't
it? Only hurts. It only hurts MJF to lose.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they're protecting him, but his ability to talk that shit comes from his ability to find the ways to win. So I just don't see them backtracking on that. Like, how funny would it be if we have like a heel cheating, like basically Eddie Guerrero, but you actually hate him, but we hate him so much we love him. It's weird. MJF's this fine line between the most hated heel and the most loved heel. Because I love him. I can't wait I tune in just to see how offensive he's going to be.
Yeah, yes.
He literally made meth and abortion jokes to a guy's dead dad on live TV. Like, my dad's dead. How would I feel about that? Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it was very, but then also, that like Brian Pillman Jr. probably gave him the permission and the script. Like, I want to be in the room when these talks are happening. Like, hey, what if I say this? And then like, man, what if you say that? Like, it's just, or what if they don't even know what he's going to say? That's the better thing. Mm-hmm. Is if it's all unscripted, it's scripted on one end, but like, okay, MJF's going to cut a promo on you. You're not going to know what he says. And then that comes out. Just, oh man, I just have so much excitement talking about it, man. I love the guy. It's wild. It's a crazy time to be just on TV right now.
And I will say that I'm pretty sure MJF is marking out inside. There's this documentary on YouTube, and I recommend everybody to check this out, that MJF, and this was pre-AEW, MJF in his room had on his wall that picture that Chris was talking about of him at the signing with CM Punk. It's crazy, and I'm sure for him, it's so awesome to be having this rivalry come up right now, because he said in that documentary, he said that CM Punk is one of his faves. So there you go.
I gotta look for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring that up right now because I can work fast on OBS.
But man, all I can say is
look at that shit. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. Oh my god.
Yeah. It reminds me of remember when Jericho and Kevin Owens were a thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they started to break up.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jericho was like, I know how big of a fan of mine you used to be. I've got pictures and videos. And then it cuts to Kevin Owens backyard wrestling as Jericho. And he's dressed like Jericho. And he's got like a whole Y2J wall of shit. Like, it's got to be the same. Like, how surreal is that to, like you said, marking out, you're now in the number one feud with essentially your hero of this, at the time. Like, another great story. It's a little more trickier, but the AJ Lee with Lita. There's a photo of AJ Lee being like 9 years old, crying, getting an autograph from Lita. Cut to 10 years ago, and she's beating her at WrestleMania, and then also literally cheating on her husband with him. Like, what the fuck? Remember, that was a real thing. I think AJ Lee and Edge or Jeff, one of those.
No. It was Lita.
It was Phil, right?
Yeah, Lita, CM Punk, and then CM Punk left.
So it's full circle with the Phil Brooks thing. It's all cyclical.
Yeah,
It's a big circle of debate. It all comes back around. If you take your picture as a child with CM Punk, you're gonna blow up. Advice to young superstars: go get an autograph and a photo from CM Punk, and you will either marry AJ Lee or feud with MJF.
Oh,
That only means one thing.
Oh no,
Goldberg, I'm coming after you.
who's shit? Oh my god, that means I'm gonna play a show. Wait, I already did play a show. I did play a show with Fozzy.
oh shit!
How wild is that? I technically opened for Fozzy, so let's roll it. That's awesome. Let's go.
Hell yeah! And of course, but yeah, you know what? This is gonna be a great. I cannot wait for the promos with each other. I know I'm just gonna use that preference of the sobriety, WWE debacle, the podcast that he did with Colt. He's gonna use a lot of it, and I cannot wait to see what he is. Even UFC preference, he's gonna use for sure. Oh man, it's gonna be a great story.
Everything's fair game.
A fair game, and I cannot wait. Great, man, cannot wait. And the other one that I want to talk about, man, we saw him on Full Gear, his debut. Nobody expected it. I didn't expect it.
Bullshit, Ivan. Bullshit, Ivan. Because we both said it last week at the prediction show. We both said Ring of Honor is closing their doors. Who's a likely candidate to show up at Full Gear? We both said Jay Lethal.
We both did, huh? Okay,
we both said it. Go watch the tape.
Okay.
We called that shit.
Okay, well there you go.
We called that, and I called Hangman Page winning.
I forgot it. Yes, see, I had so much consumption. I was forgot it. So we did say it. There you go.
We literally said if anybody from Ring of Honor, we said it was going to be the gothy guy, and then Jay Lethal.
Okay, so there you go, Jay Lethal. He showed up, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god! Oh man, he deserves his break, man. I think Director and I said it. This guy.
You even, I think, said he was going to come out to the Macho Man theme song. I think you even called that, didn't you?
Imagine if he does.
Or did you say that? You said that.
We were saying, imagine. No, I think we were saying about imagine him with the Macho. You know,
and he came out to it with a remix version.
Yeah, I didn't expect it.
You called that 100%, dude.
Oh, fine. But hey,
we predict these things.
Predictions. But man, oh my god, I'm just happy for him. He deserves his big break. He's now here in AEW, and what a hell of a main event versus Sammy Guevara for the TNT title, man. Woo! What a debut for Jay Lethal. Of course, you got to get your first loss in AEW. Welcome to AEW, buddy. Come on in. You got to get your loss.
Yeah, look what happened to Karrion Kross.
Welcome to Raw, right?
Too soon?
Oh, man. Killer Cross now. No more Karrion Kross.
Whatever.
He's back as Killer Cross, better than Karrion. But yes, Lethal, man. Great performance. The guy still got it for his age. He's been in the industry for so long. Never got his break on national television like this before, and now he's in AEW. He's all elite, and now what is the future? And are you guys excited for Jay Lethal and All Elite? So I'll take it to you, Money Mike. Are you excited for Jay Lethal and All Elite?
Can we please have another Ric Flair Jay Lethal moment?
Woo! That's my line. It's my line.
I mean, I would like to see that. Yes.
That shit was like a Family Guy episode where the joke goes on for so long it gets boring, but then it keeps going and it's back to being funny again. Like a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece for like 3 minutes, and then you're like, are they done? And then you're like, okay, it's funny again. That was that Ric Flair Jay Lethal moment.
Great stuff. I've seen that thing numerous times. So hey, look, candy. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. In the ring, the guy can still go, and he's a veteran. You could tell a seasoned veteran. And if I'm not mistaken, he was the last ROH champion, or no?
No, the last ROH champion, Bandito's the last one.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Okay, so I was mistaken. I thought that he was the last one, but yeah, great stuff there, man. And I'm sure he's psyched to be over there. All Elite Wrestling is the place to be, man. I'll say it. And it's great to have him there. And for those people that say, oh, they get nothing but WWE people. No, they don't.
Words out of my mouth.
There it is. Great minds
think alike. There you go. Director, I know you're excited. What are you looking forward for Jay Lethal and All Elite Wrestling?
Oh, man. So you said that in great shape at his age. He's 36 years old. But, he debuted 20 years ago, almost to the day. He's been wrestling professionally since he was 16. So yes, he is a 36-year-old veteran, still in phenomenal shape.
That could have been you.
Shut up, man. Hey, man, I'm super stoked what I'm doing. I'm doing something that I never thought.
I know.
They're in a parallel universe. I would like to think I'm on equivalent with Scorpio Sky because he and I trained together for a little bit, or Young Bucks, But I don't sit on that. I love what I'm doing, but I love watching pro wrestling still, especially when it's done right, like what AEW is doing, because it's hitting all of my buttons. It's hitting the reason I fell in love with ECW original, the reason I fell in love with original NXT, and the original reason I fell in love with the indies, like Revolution Pro, that in a way evolved into Guerrilla, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, Ring of Honor, and then all the companies that we cover now, from Global Syndicate to Game Changer to all, like, I'm seeing all of those veins just pumping blood into this company, and they're kind of the heart right now of pro wrestling, and they're just pulling energy from every single door. I don't even want to call it the forbidden door anymore. It's got to be like we have to rename it. Leave a comment below, but it's no longer forbidden. There's only one, party that's not. There's only one family not sitting at this table, and they're wrong. They're dead wrong. And obviously we see that right now with the rehaul of NXT. We see that with all the releases, not only just one big release, but two, one just happening today. But I only watch NXT right now, or not NXT, AEW. I just, my feelings, I love WWE. I'm not in love with it. I'm in probably the least amount of love with it than I've ever been right now. And I don't like that feeling, but AEW comes in and they do, man, the new hotness. I'm in love with it in every aspect. I mean, I don't want to say they can't do no wrong, because there's things that we can talk about, women's division, the triple title not existing, or even having too many factions, but still, I'm a kid again with this. Every time something cool happens, I just scream at my TV, and everyone here has seen me do it. Jay Lethal adds to that list, man. We have an indie darling, a professional god, a TNA Impact legend, 6-time X Division champion. The guy was breaking down barriers with his Ric Flair Macho Man impressions. Obviously, in AEW, things work a little bit differently. You lose your first one, and then you go on to big things. I don't know if the feud with Sammy Guevara is going to continue. He's definitely going to be in that mid-card range for a while. Maybe a great feud with Christian would be cool. Love to see that. But yeah, there's nobody on the roster who I could say is not ready for prime time as far as skills in the ring go. And he is not on that list. So he's going to handle business for sure.
Oh man, I can't wait to, man. I'm excited for him. I'm pretty happy.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
There you go. See, Chris's heart is closed and locked when it comes to WWE. WWE who?
It's still open. It's still open. Good things can still happen. We saw that. I would say even during lockdown, during the Thunderdome era, they did the best they could. And there were some great entertaining things. It's what happened after that that's kind of like, how did it get so bad?
Yeah.
It just, why? Why'd they, someone tweeted something. I think it was somebody in AEW, a woman wrestler. And the quote was, you can't put athletes and models in the same warehouse learning the same moves and expect to have a quality product. And talking about the new NXT. And yeah, that's what they're doing. They're not opening the doors to indie wrestlers. They're trying to farm club up their own people. They're not going to, Full Sail used to technically be something else, right? What was the wrestling company in Florida? Florida Championship, FCW or OVH. They're not doing that anymore. They'd rather just build them up the way they want to build them up. And there's just no personality in the moveset or even in the characters. I was watching one of the NXTs recently, and I'm going to say this respectfully of local independent wrestling. I've seen better wrestling down at like the Jewish Community Center in Woodland Hills from MPW. And shout out to Logan X, man. But like, you're doing shit proper for indie scene, man. Like, just, I don't know where this bullheadedness comes from over at WWE. It's like, they would rather make their decisions and be wrong about their own decisions than be right with somebody else's decision. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
And that I just think that that's what the cancer that company has dealt with forever. You know, it's like, yeah, I don't get it. I just don't, especially today, everyone's tweeting like the Isaiah Swerve Scott thing, like his debut, his move to the NXT, the North American Championship, to move to main roster, to losing the championship, to getting cut, to hashtag make it make sense.
Since you're gonna jump in, we'll jump into very, very quick.
Well, let's let Mike talk about Jay Lethal real quick, and then I got to bounce, but you can get into that. Those are my thoughts about it, so I got that handled. That's out of my system.
All right,
I want to hear Mike talk about Jay Lethal.
Well, I already kind of did, in that I was honestly, I was impressed by his performance. I am not as familiar with him as other people might be. I never really tuned in for TNA or Impact up until the Forbidden Door, really. And in that, man, one of the great things that AEW is doing right. I never watched Impact. I never watched NWA or New Japan. And AEW has opened that door for me, for a 20-year WWE guy that was all I would see, WWE, to now seeing the whole picture and the heart of wrestling, the veins that lead to it and go out and everything, that so there you go. So yeah, I mean, and Jay Lethal is a part of all this too. It's gotten me interested in seeing his old matches, right? X Division and all that great stuff.
Good shit. Good shit.
More that there's more than just a woo off with Ric Flair, right?
Oh, no,
there's more to it.
Yeah,
there's more to the story. I'm glad that they're opening that door for, and it's not just like a part-time thing. He is all elite. He is part of that roster now, and I look forward to seeing what they do with him, what he does. Yeah, I am all in.
There you go, because he's
I love it. I love it,
Leo. But yes, this Dynamite's the viewership 984,000 viewers. They're almost in the millions, man. They're getting there.
I'll say this now that you bring that up, and we're here talking about AEW and stuff, and there's the numbers. People are saying, oh, it's not as much as Raw, it's not as much as SmackDown, and you know what? Okay, let's go with that. It's not as much as those guys, but in the event that 6 years from now AEW has to fold and whatever, man, I'm enjoying this ride just as much as 12-year-old Mike enjoyed the Attitude Era.
You're here.
It is what it is. And as someone that thought that he has seen it all in wrestling, seeing this new stuff, and it's great. It's indescribable.
Yeah, absolutely. Great words put it. And then, of course, we might see future more Ring of Honor stars. The Briscoe brothers were backstage on Dynamite. So we might see the Briscoe brothers coming to AEW. We might see that. There's a lot coming, so stay tuned for that. And Rampage tonight, ladies and gentlemen, sure, as we have Darby Allin versus Billy Gunn, Jade Cargill versus Red Velvet in the TBS tournament that is still continuing on. And you have the Jurassic Express versus Bobby Fish and Adam Cole, baby. So, and Kenny Omega's gone. Injuries. He had a good, vertigo, shoulder injury, ankle injury. The guy has not taken a break since he left New Japan and came to AEW. He well-deserved break, and I'm glad that he's stepping. And the way how he did it right too, just stepping out. Okay, I'm gonna take some time. I'm gonna go for a while. You take over, Bucks. Not you, Cole, but the Bucks. But yeah, I mean, I'm loving it, and I can't wait to see Kenny's return. And I'm excited for Hangman Page and what's next for him. And yes, man, fantastic, man. I love it overall, man. I love this shit. Love it. But yes, well, there you have it, gentlemen. We'll be right back. We'll take a little quick break. We'll come back with this, Money Mike and I, because the one and only here has to direct himself to, taking a long ride.
Do some things.
do some
Yeah.
things. But Mike and I will come back and discuss the releases that's happened. And also we'll talk about Turning Point coming up this Saturday, Impact's Turning Point and WWE Survivor Series. I know we're not, the people want it, so we will do it to give our thoughts of Survivor Series and Turning Points I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, you guys can handle that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll be right back. Look at this message. Don't forget December 9th, Circle Debate and Dirty Heels are sponsoring the epic event Old Fashioned Wrestling December 9th. Look at this commercial right after this break. Don't forget to purchase your tickets. The description right below, the ticket information to purchase them. December 9th, we will be there sponsoring the event. Viva Van versus Zeda Zhang for the PCW Ultra Women's title. So you do not want to miss that main event. That's going to be, cannot wait for that. So we'll be right back after this commercial break.